All right, so Solana. You're probably thinking, yeah, I know. Speed demon blockchain, super low costs. And you're not wrong, but trust me, there's so much more to it.
It's true. Way more than just the surface level stuff. Like, you might have heard the buzz, but do you really get what makes it tick?
Exactly. So that's our mission today, to take a deep dive into Solana. By the end of this, you won't just know about Solana, you'll understand it. You'll be able to impress even the hardcore crypto folks.
Like it. No more just nodding along at meetups. You'll be dropping knowledge bombs.
Aha, exactly. But first things first, gotta lay the foundation. What is Solana at its core?
Simply put, a decentralized blockchain platform. Like some others you might know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, but with this intense focus on speed, cost-effectiveness, and being able to scale like crazy.
Right, like they looked at the blockchain world and said, hold my beer.
Yeah, kinda. They saw the limitations, the bottlenecks, and thought, we can do this better.
And that ambition, man, it's attracted some serious attention. We're not just talking about crypto Twitter hype. Big names in tech, in finance, they're all watching Solana.
For sure. It's like they see a glimpse of the future, and Solana might be holding the key.
Okay, let's get specific. Let's talk speed. Solana can handle, what is it, something like 65,000 transactions per second for fractions of a penny each. Meanwhile, Ethereum is chugging along at, what, 30 per second?
You're not kidding. It's like comparing dial-up internet to that fiber optic connection you brag about.
Ouch, yeah. Makes you wonder, why did speed become such a huge issue for those older blockchains?
Well, think about Bitcoin for a second. Proof of work, right? It's like this huge energy-sucking competition to solve ridiculously hard math problem.
Yeah.
And that whole system, inherently slow, no way.
Yeah.
And expensive as heck, because you need so much processing power just to keep things secure.
Ugh, yeah, I remember the first time I tried using Bitcoin felt like I was waiting for paint to dry.
And don't even get me started on the fees.
Exactly. Kill the vibe completely.
Yeah,
So Ethereum's trying to move away from that, right, with proof of stake.
they are, which is a step in the right direction, but it still has its limits. Solana, on the other hand, built differently. From the ground, UP.
And that's where we get to this mysterious thing, proof of history.
Yeah, sounds intimidating, right?
Honestly, kinda. Like, do I need a cryptography degree to understand this?
Not at all. Think of it like this.
Mhm.
Imagine you've got this notary, right? And they're constantly stamping and signing this document, creating this undeniable record of, like, exactly when things happened.
Okay, I'm kind of with you.
That's basically what proof of history does, but for transactions on Solana. So instead of relying on miners to solve these crazy puzzles like in proof of work, Solana has this built-in system that's like, nope, I know when this happened, no arguments.
So it's about proving the order of transactions, but in a way, more efficient way.
Super efficient. And because of that, Solana can actually use proof of stake, but in a way other blockchains can't. Faster consensus, way lower fees, but you're not sacrificing security.
And on top of all that, way more eco-friendly, right? Compared to the whole proof of work energy hog situation.
You got it. So you've got speed, efficiency, you're not destroying the planet. Starting to see why people are excited.
No, definitely. But I'm curious, how does this translate to the real world? What's actually being built on Solana?
Oh man, the whole spectrum. Decentralized finance. Platforms like Serum are using Solana's speed to offer almost instant trading.
And what about those degenerate Ape Academy NFTs? Those are everywhere.
Huge following. But let's take Serum as an example. You're trading crypto. And because transactions on Solana happen so fast, there's barely any lag. Plus the low fees. You can actually make small trades without getting eaten alive by costs.
Okay, so this isn't just like, oh, maybe someday this will be cool. This is actually impacting how people use crypto right now.
It's happening, yeah. But hold on, gotta keep it real.
Yeah, gotta bring in that critical lens. Time for the not so fun part.
Well, balanced at least. Can't do a deep dive without talking about the challenges, right?
Right, because there are some, for sure, I've heard about some network outages, and anytime I hear blockchain and outage in the same sentence, I get a little nervous.
For good reason. Yeah. And that's something the Solana team is working on hard.
Mhm.
They've been pretty open about what caused those outages, and they're always trying to make the network more stable.
Mhm.
But there's another big question.
Decentralization.
Right, exactly.
Mm.
Some people argue that because you need some serious hardware to run a Solana validator node, it could end up becoming too centralized, which kind of defeats the whole purpose.
It's like this constant push and pull. You want the high performance, but not at the cost of true decentralization. Sounds tricky.
It is, but at least these conversations are happening. The Solana community is debating this, trying to figure out solutions. And that's a good sign, right?
Yeah.
It means people care.
Absolutely. Blind faith gets you nowhere, especially in this space.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, what's the future looking like for Solana?
Well, we've already got some heavy hitters backing it. Andreessen Horowitz, Alameda Research. These aren't folks who throw money around lightly. They see something real here. Plus, Solana's roadmap is ambitious, more scalability, better tools for developers, even figuring out how to connect Solana with other blockchains.
So, the story's just getting started. It's clear Solana's pushing the boundaries, and it's making us rethink what blockchain can be. But for our listeners out there, what's one thing you think they should keep in mind as they go down the Solana rabbit hole?
I say this.
Hmm.
Remember, Solana is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. The real fascination is the problem it's trying to solve, making blockchain tech faster, cheaper, easier to use. Once you get that, you can start seeing the bigger picture and figuring out which projects are worth your attention.
Okay, so we've got a good handle on how Solana works and what makes it stand out. But now I want to get into the real world stuff. How are people actually using this tech today?
It's not just theoretical, it's happening right now.
Right.
We touched on NFTs and DeFi, but there's a whole universe beyond that.
Yeah, I'm especially curious about Web3. It's one of those buzzwords I hear all the time, but what does it actually mean for someone like me? How would it change my online experience?
Imagine this. You own your data, you control it, and you can even profit from it. Think about social media, for example.
Okay, yeah.
Instead of Facebook calling the shots, making money off your activity, what if you were in control? What if you got rewarded for your contributions?
All right, less Zuck, more me. I can dig it. But are we talking about something that's actually happening in NW, or is this way off in the future?
It's already happening. There are Web3 projects built on Solana that you can use right now. Audius, for example.
Audius.
It's a decentralized music streaming platform, think Spotify, but the artists get a much bigger slice of the pie.
Because there's no middleman taking a cut.
Exactly. And WHY, can this exist on Solana? It comes down to those key advantages: speed and cost.
Yeah.
You need a blockchain that can handle millions of users streaming music, and it needs to be cheap enough so those tiny payments for each stream actually make sense.
Makes sense. So Solana is like the engine that makes these Web3 ideas possible.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears for a second. Let's talk decentralized finance, or as the cool kids call it, DeFi.
Yeah, DeFi definitely sounds a bit more complex, but I know the potential is huge.
It is, essentially, it's about taking those traditional financial services, like lending, borrowing, all that stuff, but doing it on the blockchain without banks or any of those middlemen.
And Solana is becoming like the DeFi hub, right?
Exactly. Think about it. You could lend your crypto and earn interest, or borrow against what you already own, all without setting foot in a bank.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this. What are some specific platforms on Solana that are doing this?
Well, there's Solund, for example.
Hmm.
It's like a decentralized lending and borrowing platform. Then you've got things like Tulip Protocol, which is a yield aggregator. Helps you find the best ways to make your crypto work for you, generate some passive income.
Wait, passive income from crypto. Tell me more.
It's about putting your crypto to work in different DeFi protocols and earning interest, rewards, things like that. And there are even decentralized insurance platforms popping up. Insurus, for instance, offers coverage against risks associated with smart contracts.
It's like a whole parallel financial system running on Solana.
It is. And because Solana's fees are so low, you can actually experiment with this stuff without needing to be a crypto whale.
Okay, this is starting to click for me. But let's be real. A lot of people still see crypto as, I don't know, risky, volatile, maybe even a little shady. Does Solana address any of those concerns?
Those concerns are valid, for sure. But Solana is doing a lot to build trust. Its focus on security, on being able to scale, makes it way more reliable than some of the older blockchains.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's being used to build real things like Audius for music or Solend for finance shows that crypto isn't just about speculation anymore.
It's actually solving real-world problems.
Exactly.
Hmm?
But hey, we can't forget about the fun stuff.
You mean NFTs?
What else? The NFT scene on Solana is exploding right now. It's not just about JPEGs anymore.
Oh, I've seen some pretty crazy stuff. Beyond just the collectible avatars.
You've got projects like Star Atlas, for example.
Star Atlas.
This is massive multiplayer online game. But here's the twist. Players can own spaceships, planets, all sorts of in-game assets, but as NFTs.
Wait, a whole video game running on NFTs? How does that work?
Imagine you own a spaceship in this game, right? It's not just a picture on your computer. It's a verifiable asset on the blockchain that you can trade, you can use to earn rewards in the game, maybe even have a say in how the game is governed.
So NFTs become like keys to unlock all these different experiences, communities, even potential economic opportunities.
Exactly. And because Solana's transaction fees are so low, it makes NFTs more accessible. You don't have to break the bank to participate.
Okay, I'm officially on board with this. Solana seems like it's at the forefront of all this innovation in Web3, DeFi, NFTs, but I know we need to talk about the other side of the coin, right? The challenges, the risks.
You got it. No tech is perfect, and Solana has its fair share of critics. In the next part, we're going to dig into some of those concerns: decentralization, security, all that good stuff.
Okay, we're back. Time to put on our skeptical hats for a minute.
You got it. We talked a lot about Solana's potential, but no tech is perfect, no silver bullets. Got to look at the challenges, the risks, the whole picture.
Let's start with the big one, decentralization. We talked about how Solana needs that powerful hardware for its validator nodes. Some people worry that this could lead to, well, too much power in the hands of a few.
Yeah, it's a valid concern, for sure. It's this balancing act.
Yeah.
You want that crazy performance, but not if it means sacrificing the whole idea of decentralization.
Yeah.
The Solana team knows this, though, and they're trying to come up with solutions. Things like cloud-based validation, lighter weight clients, so more people can participate, even if they don't have the most powerful setup.
So it's not like an easy fix, it's an ongoing thing. And it makes me think about those network outages. Anytime a blockchain goes down, it makes you wonder, right? Especially if you've got assets stored on there.
Yeah, those outages were a reality check, for sure. Show that the network wasn't invincible. But every blockchain has had its growing pains, right? What matters is how they respond. And the Solana team has been pretty transparent about it. They're working on fixing the issues, making things more robust.
So it's about learning, adapting, constantly improving. But even then, you can't predict everything, right? There's always the risk of some new bug popping up.
True. No software is perfect, and that's why having a strong development community is so crucial. Rigorous testing, security audits, all that. And Solana has that going for it. They're constantly working to stay ahead of the curve.
That's good to hear. But there's one more piece of the puzzle we haven't talked about much. The elephant in the room, regulation.
Ah, yes, the Wild West of crypto regulations. Governments are still trying to figure out what to do with all this, which creates uncertainty. Could be new rules tomorrow that completely change the game.
So much potential for disruption, for innovation, but also a lot of unknowns. With all that in mind, the big question is Solana still worth the attention? Does it have staying power?
I'd say absolutely. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got challenges, but it's also pushing the boundaries in a way that few others are. The
Mm.
speed, the scalability, the low cost. And it's attracting the right kind of people, the builders, the innovators, the ones who actually believe in this tech.
So it comes down to weighing the potential against the risks, recognizing that this is a long game and things are constantly changing.
Exactly. Don't blindly buy into the hype, but don't dismiss it either. Do your own research, ask the tough questions, and decide for yourself.
I love that. That's what this deep dive has been all about, giving you the tools to understand Solana so you can make informed decisions. But hey, this isn't the end of your journey, right?
Yep. Just the beginning. Keep learning, keep questioning. Who knows, maybe you'll be building the next big thing on Solana.
Now that's inspiring. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Solana. Keep exploring, keep pushing the boundaries, and we'll catch you next time.